Hey there, how's it going? Hey, it's Letitia. Hey, how's it going? I hope that you all are having a fantastic day today. Welcome to a live I Choose Me conversation. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Letitia Brown. I am your author, inspirational speaker, and your coach. I am passionate about helping you grow as a person, and I'm here to help you transform your thinking toward choosing you first so that you can effectively serve other people. I want to encourage you to please take the time to comment and share and follow me on my social media platforms, subscribe to the channels. It would mean so much to me. And of course, if you need to contact me, you can visit my website at letitiabrown.com, LATISHABROWN.com. I love to hear from you. Hey y'all, today is sweater weather. It's a good day to wear a I Choose Me hoodie. So y'all visit the website and get your hoodie so that you can rep this merchandise this season. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Remember, this platform is about the I Choose Me message. I Choose Me is about creating a lifestyle of balance for yourself by choosing to be emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually healthy first so that you can be of service to other people. It's a beautiful day here in Houston, but it's also chilly. I wonder what the weather's like in your part of town or your neck of the woods. And I just really hope that you're having a fantastic day. And I want to remind you that you matter and it's okay for you to choose yourself first. Why? So that you can effectively serve other people. You can't help anybody to the extent that they may need it if you don't know how to take care of yourself first. So it's important that you are choosing you first. And as you saw in the title, we're talking about when someone you trust crushes your dream. And if you have had anybody to tell you what you can't do, uh, you don't belong here in this space, don't try too hard or you're going to get disappointed. Or what, you think that you're better than me? Oh, you think you're a princess, huh? Or they may say you're the dumbest person I know. What are you doing? That person is way better than you. Stay in your place. And maybe you've even said some terrible things to yourself about your dreams by telling yourself that they're not valid anymore, or it's too late for you to do it, or any kind of conversation that you've had like that, or somebody's spoken over you. This message is for you. And I'm really passionate about it. This is a topic that I know so well. And there's a billion things that I can talk about regarding it. But I was just thinking about some of the beautiful athletes that I've seen over the years who may have been told that they weren't good enough. They didn't get all the opportunities that they needed in order to showcase what they had to offer the world. And I used to kind of laugh at my husband, because he would put our son in a situation where, he was on this team this season and then maybe switch to another team or what have you. And it wasn't because necessarily people were not saying that he wasn't good enough or whatnot, but he made decisions that were best for our son. And I appreciate that so much more, because I had put in my mind that if somebody said that you're supposed to be here, that's where you're supposed to be. And that's not the truth. You have to do what you think is best for you and what you think is best for your family. And I've seen people, including my own family, where in one place they kind of plateaued, or maybe it wasn't the best place, or maybe maybe there was negative conversation about where they were, and they moved somewhere else, and then all of a sudden they excelled. I've seen one young lady just recently, in one place, she was burdened down and stressed, and it wasn't the best environment for her, and her family made a decision to do something different. And once she made the decision to do something different, all of a sudden it's like, this beautiful girl just blossomed, and I'm super excited about her doing great things in the earth. And like I said, this topic is one of those that I know so well, and it's near and dear to my heart. Why? Because not only do I get a chance to coach, and I've had a chance to coach people who may have felt lost or disconnected, and they can't figure out how to get back onto their destiny track, but I've seen people who personally I have personally heard and have seen people who had the audacity to put their fears and their vile, filthy tongue on my destiny track too. Can you believe that? Somebody said something to me too. So I know what I'm talking about. And, I had to ask the question, like, was it out of malice? And at the time when it was happening to me, I wasn't sure. But years later, as I grew, I knew that it was just a person not being kind, right? And I had to ask myself, it's like, what's happening? Are they jealous? Absolutely. I had this person the same person who was in a position higher than I was, and I worked for actually. And I was we're just having a casual conversation about education. And I started to share, my different degrees and what me and my husband have experienced, and what we're the expectations that we were having for our children. And then all of a sudden it's like she just went cuckoo about it, because she didn't have some of the degrees that I had yet, and that was okay, but that wasn't a reason for her to spout her issues toward me. And then, of course, was it just mean-spirited? And the answer is yep. And unfortunately for them, it all came tumbling down in the most embarrassing way. But that didn't stop. Just because something happened to them, that did not stop the pain and anxiety that I experienced from letting that person unknowingly dictate my dreams by her constant snotty remarks, right? And it was a constant barrage of negativity and one-upness from them that was just stifling and toxic. And the reason I mention it is because it's somebody that I trusted. It's somebody that I trusted that had supposed authority over me. They were my boss, right? But because of their verbal, emotional, and mental abuse, I started to second guess my professionalism, my experiences that I had, and also my business acumen. And so I don't know if any of you guys have been in that position. I know of lots of people who just couldn't get from point A to point B because somebody said something negative to them. And I've also been on the side where people were saying negative things about somebody, and it was just so heartbreaking. And then we had to coach them through. We had to hold their hand and walk them through until they get their head straight. And in some cases, it took years for that to happen, where they had to get all of that negative crap out of their head that other people were saying to them, because they trusted them, and it had a way of beating them down, so that their dreams all of a sudden no longer seemed like it would ever become a reality. So I've been there, done that, and I'm sure you guys know of somebody that has experienced those kinds of things too. But here's the thing. This is something that I did not learn until later on, and I'm still kind of wrapping my head around it. But I prepared the way for that experience by the words that I spoke about myself, the position that I put myself in, and the conscientious decision that I made years before. So it all came to a head the moment all of those things that I was saying about myself and the position that I said about myself all came to a head the moment I stepped into that workplace. Wow. That's big. And because of her position, her title of supposedly, being a prayer warrior in her prayer life, I put my trust in her, right? But I realize now, she was just doing her, just being who she is, right? But what I experienced and what I said about myself and felt about myself, that wasn't her fault. It was mine. I let her do it. Does this sound familiar to any of you all? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the story, and then you tell me if you can relate to what I'm saying, right? You see, a lot of times we like to put the blame on other people, especially when things don't go our way or they don't go the way that we hope that they would go. We can always look back and say that she said this or he did that. And if he didn't do this or she didn't say that, I would be doing X, Y, and Z now. And we spend years of blaming other people about what they said or what they didn't say. And we, talk about where we would be if they would have had my back a little bit better, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You need a certain level of luck. My husband would say that all the time. You need some luck to get to the places where you want to go sometimes. Of course, it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of focus, a lot of planning, and it takes a lot of luck to get to experience your dreams. And everybody who has arrived, the people that who've arrived there, they all needed someone to kind of sign off for them, right? Someone to help them get through the doors. And look at what's happening with Kanye and Kyrie Irving, right? And before I say anything else, I'm not for or against, or if I was, it's my business and that's it, right? But I'm just using this for an example, right? Both people are very, very talented in their area, right? But neither of them could have gotten to the position that they're in without not only the talent, the hard work, but then also the right people speaking on their behalf. You get what I'm saying? And in case you didn't hear me, I said it takes hard work, a great plan, coupled with luck to get to where you're needing to go, right? But although they needed people to help them to get to where they needed to go, coupled with all the other stuff that they put in, their talent, their hard work, and their plans, and now we're seeing a spiraling because of them expressing their views publicly, sort of like, me saying, hey, I have these degrees. And you say it out loud, right? Again, whatever they said, I'm not even discussing that right now, but they expressed their views, and all of the people that they thought that they trusted, all of a sudden things are going all over the place, right? And me having a degree or degrees or different kinds of levels of education is nowhere near the magnitude of what those men have accomplished over the years, or the number of people that they've talked to, or the number of people that have been in their ear, and the people that have helped them to make the decisions that they made, or the great success that they've had over the years. No comparison whatsoever, right? And I'm sure, like I said, both of them trusted the people that they worked with to a certain extent, until now they see that things are not quite what they seem, right? And in the midst of all of it, they have to, as men, recalibrate and learn from those experiences and make some calculated next step decisions, whatever those may be, and the decisions are theirs. The idea behind what I'm saying is that you can trust somebody and then things don't turn out exactly the way that you hope that they would turn out. That's all I'm saying with that, right? But you and I can agree that we got some dreams too. We got some things that we want to do. And we've trusted people to help us to get to our next. These people have heard our story, or maybe they just have our ear at the time, and we have probably experienced some big dream crushes because of what somebody said or what somebody did to us. Or how about this? We put ourselves in a box. We lowered our own standards. We belittled ourselves and told ourselves that we weren't good enough. It's too late. I'm too old. Things are not going to work out for me. I'm too young. I'm too short. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm going to shrink myself. I'm going to hide. You know what? I'm going to laugh this off, because every time I think about my dreams and I think about them not being fulfilled, I want to cry. Right? I am going to stick to what's safe. I'm not getting ready to ruffle any feathers. I don't want people knowing that I have a certain level of talent, because, especially my family, my friends, and my spouse, because I don't want them to feel bad about themselves. Or maybe I am just stuck in the land of fear. Y'all get what I'm saying? Right? So, as an athlete, especially, like, so back in the days, I played sports, and they would call your name for years, right? And you're in newspapers and you're on television and people are applauding you and you're getting all of this recognition, and it feels so good. Sometimes you can get kind of heady about that, right? You can get caught up in the applause. And when that applause ends, it's a trip. Kind of trips your head up a little bit, right? And when you step into life, you have an opportunity to see that people have a tendency to do this and do that, right? But you have to remember that people are going to be people. And even if you are used to applause and then all of a sudden it's not happening anymore, the question is, what are you willing to fight for? Right? Do you believe in you? Because really, that's the biggest question. Do you believe in you? When you were an athlete, when you were whatever, a superstar, actor, whatever, and they were all clamoring to get to know you and to pat you on the back, and everybody was like, it was all good. And then all of a sudden somebody later, the applause is not there, or somebody said something to you that is uncomfortable to you. The big question is, do you still believe in you? Right? Or is the comment that Joe and Jane made is that the most important part of who you are? And if they said something negative, you can't even function anymore. Is that you? Somebody said something to you, you can't function anymore? Trust me, I'm not downing anybody, because I know I know what that feels like. But for you, maybe it was a parent or a teacher or a coach that said something that was so foul about you and to you. I remember Lisa Nichols is her name. Lisa Nichols, that she said that she had got a failing grade in her English class. And earlier, one of the teachers says, like, what do you want to be? And she's like, I want to be everything. I want to do all these great things, right? And she was taking this class and she got a failing grade. And the teacher was like, you are the weakest writer that I've ever met in my entire life. That is a blow, when a teacher says that to you. But she didn't of course, I'm sure she took it to heart. She okay. She made it. She became a best-selling author, a world-renowned speaker, and ended up writing 7 books. People say mean things. People sometimes are just being people. There are good ones, and then there are bad ones. But the question again is, are you willing to fight for you? That's the question. Do you believe in you? And listen, if you don't, I'm here for you. I'm applauding for you. You can do it. At some point, beloved, you have to put your foot down and push. Push for your dreams. Push for your purpose. Push for your future. Push because your dreams are hardwired in you, and that this is not the time for you to disconnect from your dreams. You might be saying, listen, you don't know, or you don't understand what they said to me or they did to me. Guess what? Life happens. You could be saying to me, I don't have any more to give. And I say, yeah, you have more to give. You might say it's too late for me. No, 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 no. It's never too late. Do you have breath in your lungs? It's not too late. You are still here. And if you're still here, it's not too late. What do you want to happen for you that you can't do because somebody said you can't do it? Right? I mean, let's forget about what people are saying, and even the people that have trusted, that you have trusted for them to speak into your life. The worst thing that you want to happen is that you look up one day and life has just passed you by. Do you want that? Your dreams matter. Everything that you have to give, we need it. We need you as a teacher. We need you as a communicator. We need you as a coach. We need you as a doctor. We need you as a musician. We need all of your talents, because all of your talents is what helps us to get to where we are as a nation, as a world. Got it? Your dream is connected to you. It's hardwired in you. And it's time for you to tap into what that is. And it's time for you to shake off all those negative things that people have said about you. It's not too late, beloved. However, you may have to make some adjustments, like they talked about Ye and Kyrie. You may have to make some adjustments because of time. And that's okay. But it's never too late. But maybe you're frustrated now because things are not moving the way that you hoped that they would move. I don't know the full answer to your personal situation, but perhaps you can ask yourself these few things, right? Have I done or said anything negative in my past that is undetected with a natural eye or ear that has put me in the situation that I'm in today? And I'm talking about the things that you've spoken about yourself, and then all of a sudden those things are being attracted to you. Maybe you were looking for a mate, or whatever it is, whatever your dream is, whatever it is, right? And then all of a sudden, all of these same kind of negative people keep coming in your space. Or maybe nobody comes at all. Is it because that you've said to yourself that you're not worthy of a mate? Ask yourself the question, or business, or whatever it is. But number two, has someone said anything negative to you and it caused you to freeze? Check that out. See what's going on there, right? Has anyone or someone infiltrated an opportunity behind your back? Ugh, hate those. Been there. Wish I could speak on it. I wish I could fight back on behalf of somebody else, but what can you do? You keep on moving and keep on pushing. Like, sometimes people withhold information from you. Ooh, I've seen this before where coaches, I've never done it, 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 never done it. In two places where I've seen high school coaches where they hold the letters from universities back from players and don't show them to them. Like, just keep the letters. It's out of spite. I don't like that player. Out of spite, just hold back the letters. Won't tell those beautiful souls that there's some coaches that are in some schools that are interested in you. Or maybe somebody said something about you that wasn't true. That hurts. When people start saying things about you that's not true. The fourth one is, am I working on my dreams every day? We're saying, things are not going the way that I hope that they would. Now let me look at these 5 things to check them out. Am I working on my dreams every day? Am I putting in maximum effort toward them? And number 5, am I easily distracted with being comfortable? Some people just get comfortable right where they are, and they don't make any changes. They're good. Do you understand? I know I've experienced it, you know what I mean? Where you're just comfortable being comfortable. It's like, I'm not trying to push any red buttons over here, and I'm not trying to walk over there. I'm not trying to do any of that because I'm comfortable right where I am right now. And you just have to make that decision yourself. And remember earlier when I mentioned that I prepared the way for that experience in the workplace, and from that person of authority that I trusted, by the words that I spoke about myself previously, and the position that I put myself in, and a conscientious decision that I made years before stepping foot in that facility. Remember when I said that earlier? Right? And as I mentioned, that sometimes as an athlete or an entertainer, especially when your name is being called and people know you and you're used to the applause and recognition, and for some, that can make you kind of heady. Remember me saying that? And you get caught up, all up in the applause, and when the applause ends, it could trip you up. And as a woman, if you add marriage in the midst of all of that, it's easy to forget who you are. So, I was working in ministry full time, and because I was over projects and was knocking it out of the park, the leadership started calling my name over the pulpit. And they were just thanking me for doing a good job. And I wasn't the only one. They were thanking other people too. But I had already knew in myself that when I started in the workforce, and from being in sports, that I had to put away the accolades and the applause that I received as an athlete, because things work differently outside of that arena, So I chose not to be heady, even if I got compliments out loud in front of other people, right? But I can remember as if it was yesterday. As women, sometimes we put ourselves in a box so that our husbands or our significant others won't feel some kind of way. And you want them to feel good about themselves, and you want to, kind of protect their pride. And many times the husbands, they ain't ask you to do that. They want you to excel in whatever you do. And that was my husband. He wanted me to excel in everything that I did, right? And he wanted me to be great, and he wanted me then to be great, and he still wants me to be great. He's my biggest cheerleader, right? Always has my back, right? Granted, there are some spouses who are jealous and goofy and just jealous, goofy, and immature, right? But not everybody's like that. And some of them, I'm not going to say that there's not some people out there that's not like that, right? But as the leaders, called my name to thank me and to congratulate me, I couldn't just sit there and accept the gratitude. I was only thinking and shrinking and wondering how my husband was feeling about all this. And it kept building up on the inside of me for years. Nothing he said, nothing he did. It was just something internally that I was masking, right? Now, no one did anything or said anything to me at the time. I did it. I was building up this big ball of anxiety because it was something that I constructed mentally and emotionally for myself. And when it was time for me to go to my next work assignment and leave that workplace, I vowed that I was going to sit in the back of all auditoriums. I go to another church, whatever I do. I vowed that I was going to shrink myself and not speak up in meetings, that I was not going to show my true verbal and intellectual and creative skill set, because I didn't want anybody building me up because I didn't want my husband to feel any kind of way. So stupid. So goofy. I was a goofy one, right? And again, like I said, he never once said anything like that. It was all me. I did it, right? It was my own inhibitions. I was 6 feet tall, still am, hiding and shrinking myself because of my own issues. And eventually, that negative communication about myself crescendoed, right, into this full-blown fear and inadequacy about myself. I was a vibrant, smart, I was a go-getter. I was a sharp individual. And my husband said, that's why I married you. I love that about you. And I love that about you when we first met, right? And I brought that stupid fear and foolishness along with me until it attached itself to my back and became one with me. And then guess what? What I thought was hidden exposed itself. Of course, that next person that I worked with, They were condescending, and they thought that they were superior over me, and I was, here, and she was up there, and she constantly said stupid stuff that I wish personally that I could stick it to her, because she didn't know me like that. You don't even know me like that. You don't know my background. What are you doing? Why are you saying that stuff? And I was like, lady, I'm catching every word you're saying. You know I can hear you, right? It's not going over my head. If I didn't care about this paycheck, I could ruin you in 2 sentences. And then I was like, Jesus, okay, take the wheel. But not only was I like listening to what she was saying, but I was like, where is this coming from? How did I attract this kind of conversation from somebody? That's not what I was putting out, so I thought, right? But it all just came to this big head when we were in this meeting at a group, and we were discussing with this organization about some information and it's stuff that I had put together. And I was, spoke on it. It's like, y'all don't know. I put it together. I shared it with you, boss people. But, okay, me present. Okay, I'm presenting. And everybody was super excited about it. And it was at one of those times where I was like, you know what? I'm going to, step back into who Letitia is, right? And as we were walking back to the offices, she said, hey, you know what? You're not supposed to speak directly to the executive director that was in the room at the time. And I'm like, squeeze me? What do you mean I'm not supposed to speak to them? And I said, what are you talking about? And why not? And she said, because she is here in a higher position than you are. And you should only address people on your level. And at the time, I was the director of operations. I'm like, wait, what? I wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. I'm like, why would she say something like that? And I'm asking, why'd she do it? Was it because she felt inferior of the information that I presented and didn't want the spotlight on me because she was a boss? I don't know. But for some reason, that jab right there, it stuck. And trust me, it got worse. But that one right there is stuck in an interesting way. And I was crushed. And at the moment, there was something in me that said, I'm not good enough. How did that happen? I've been around star athletes, CEOs, bishops, leaders, teachers, presidents of universities, and some presidents in other countries, musicians, doctors, world leaders, you name it. I've been around them, sat with them, talked to them. Why did her saying that I could not speak to this other tiny little lady that hardly no one knew freak me out so much? It's laughable now, but it wasn't then. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is how you can talk yourself into your new unwanted destiny. I spoke this into existence. Earlier I said that I would sit at the back of auditoriums, when in reality, I love sitting at the front. I said that I won't speak up in meetings, but that is not how God wired me. What you say has energy. And once it attaches itself to you, it will follow you, and other people can sense it too. You must be confident in your dreams. You got to be confident in yourself, even when other people you trust say stupid stuff to you. Beloved, hold your head up high. Stop shrugging off your dreams. Make a decision today to put up the middle finger if you have to all those people who don't have your best interests at heart, and move toward your dreams. And I said that, and that's hard for me to say, but I mean that. I'm very serious about it, because I'm so tired of seeing so many talented people hold back because of something somebody said, because of something somebody did that was unfavorable to them. You were made to do great things. Remember, beloved, that your words have energy. Your thoughts have energy. Speak well of yourself, and know that people who are close to you will undoubtedly say some stupid stuff too, right? They'll say it too, right? But you got to be locked in, beloved. Locked in on this whole idea of choosing you first in all of your glory. And it's okay. Get the right cheerleaders in your corner with you. Remove all, and I mean all, people who speak any negativity toward you or your dreams. I believe polarity is okay, right? Sometimes you have to experience tough times to see what you don't want, and let them drive you to the things that you actually do want. But don't live in that place of discourse and self sabotage, right? Because fear is debilitating. And you can't let it drive your decisions or your indecisiveness either, right? And excuses are not going to cut it anymore. No more excuses. Either you choose you, believe in you, or trust in other people's words that were used to harm you. And if any of this resonates with you, I have one exercise for you to do starting tonight. Before you go to bed, I want you to write down one thing you're grateful for, and one thing that you want to forgive somebody for. There's a lot that we have to be grateful for. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, there's something to be grateful for, right? One thing that maybe you want to forgive somebody for, and then write a dream that you have, just one, tonight, starting tonight, right? And your dream could be, I want a pair of, I don't know, you want a Louis Vuitton purse, I don't know, whatever. I want to be a doctor. I want to find a man. I want to find a woman that loves me. Whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is, but you write it down tonight. And then in the morning, start your day off by writing 5 dreams or desires that you have, right? 5 dreams. They could be anything, right? Why am I saying writing it down? This writing your goal concept, it's science, right? Neuropsychologists say that writing things down happens on 2 levels, right? There's external storage, and then there's encoding. And external, of course, is easy because you get a chance to write down your goals somewhere externally outside of yourself, and you have easy access to it, and you can look at your physical goals at any time, right? And that visual cue makes it better and it's easier to access. But then encoding, however, is a biological process in which information travels through your brain's hippocampus for analyzation, right? And once that information is there, decisions are made on whether things get stored in long-term memory or it eventually gets discarded. So when you write things down, and especially if you constantly write them down, i.e. the 5 times in the morning, it improves that encoding process. Got it? And when you do that, there's a better chance for you to remember it and to act on it. And then the RAS effect will kick in, which is your reticular activating system. And that's just a part of your brain that helps make your goals happen from a conscious perspective. Meaning, when you write down your goals and you focus on what you want, you will begin to attract the people, the opportunities, and things that will help your dream become a reality. So it's science to write it down, beloved. So, again, let's make a decision to choose you first. Choose you first. Number 2, denounce any negative words someone has said to you or anything anybody has done to you. Denounce it. Got it? And number 3, remove all negative communication from your mouth and work on your head space, right? Number 4, remove all things and people that don't line up with your dreams. There's a lot of people that can be, supposedly be on your team, but they're not on your team because they're always speaking negative things. So you gotta cut them loose. Right? And then number 5, get a good cheering section. Even if that section of people is 1. It's just you. Pat yourself on the back. Develop a relationship with God. He has your back. That's good. That's a good way of doing that, right? And then number 6, do that morning and evening exercise that I talked about and make it a habit. Write one thing that you're grateful for at night. Write one thing that you may have, a person that you need to forgive. That person that hurt me, she hurt me in a big way, and I remember the day that I called her and said, I forgive you, and left it at that. So the sting of her actions don't hurt me anymore. They just don't, right? It's like, it wasn't me, it was her that had the issue, not me, right? And then write down one goal, and it can be whatever you want, whatever it is. It could be, I want to purchase 25 hoodies from LetitiaBrown.com. The I Choose Me hoodies, so that I can give them to people for Christmas as a Christmas gift. Whatever it is, write down those goals, right? And then in the morning, after you had your coffee or whatever it is, carve out 10 minutes out of your morning and write down your 5 goals. All right? And beloved, as you start to shift your energy toward your desires and your dreams, all of that negative commotion that infiltrated your head will dissipate. And then you'll be one step closer to fulfilling your dreams. There's nothing more beautiful than trusting your instincts, removing negative thoughts and people from you, and of course, walking in your purpose. Today is a great day for you to choose you. And if you don't choose you first, you can't count on anybody else to do it for you. It's not going to happen. You have to choose you first. Well, beloved, I hope I said something that will be a blessing to you. I want to again encourage you to visit the website at LetitiaBrown.com. Share this message with other people. You can contact me through LetitiaBrown.com. Of course, you can always DM me. I'd love to coach you, coach your group, do workshops, training. I'm here to help you to master your story. Thank you again for supporting what we do here by picking up your copy of Get Up You Big Fat Procrastinator as well, and getting yourself some of our new merchandise. Much love to you all. I hope that you have a fantastic day today, and I pray that you are choosing you and you are walking out your dreams in excellence. God bless you real good now. Take care now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.